Happy Valentine's Day in May. The last day of May. But anyway, yes. Just to make sure. 2107. So yeah. So let's see. So Subterranean was the mid-season finale. I guess this is back when they didn't care about setting. So, welcome back to Smallville Retrospective. I'm Scotty. You're not. We're in season 6, episode 13, entitled Crimson. Like red. I wonder what that's going to be about. What red do we have in this show? So, the episode. Valentine's Day episode. Yeah. So, there's a big Valentine's Day thing going on. It's the day before Valentine's Day, though. I think. Yeah. And so, Chloe is taking Clark there. And to find a Miss Wright. But, unbeknownst to both of them, Jimmy has showed up with Lois. Intending to get them together. But they are not feeling it at all. I like how Jimmy's like, Lois and Clark. You said Lois and Clark. I'm like, yeah, it's a good show, but it has nothing to do with this right now. But Lois sees a strange woman who I thought was Michelle Yao, and then I realized, no, it's not. But she gives Lois this special lipstick that's infused with red meteor rock, because of course it is. Now, I don't know if it was intended at this point, because we see her again in this episode, but we don't see this person ever again. If this was originally intended to be Zatanna, and they just kind of dropped it, because the way she comes, it's stuff, and then she hands them later they get a special perfume thing that will counteract it, which, no surprise, is green meteor rock or kryptonite. Yeah. Yeah. So Lois is now in love with Clark. It's supposed to be the first person that she sees. So is Clark. And now she's dressing all sexy and trying to flirt with him. I do like when she shows up and both he and Martha are like, oh. And Martha leaves and she starts coming on and she's like, I got this mix CD for you. He's like, why don't you go put it on? So she turns around, he's gone. Flies out of there. Like, no. He's like, Chloe, something's wrong with Lois. She's coming on to me. At this point, they're not really a thing. But, and I know she's human, but they explain later with Clark, they reiterate that it lowers his inhibitions. So what if in some way, shape, or form lowers his inhibitions and makes him bring out his true feelings? So what if in some way, shape, or form it did the same thing for Lois, and she actually does have feelings for Clark, which we know eventually is true. But no. Although Chloe does say I'm trying to track down your Martian Manhunter. So there's that name drop. Pick that up. And then there's an unnecessary plot point where Jimmy is jealous because he thinks that Chloe's still in love with Clark. For the love of God, can we just drop it? I thought we dropped this. Now, to its credit, the show goes out of its way to show you, that Chloe does not have any feelings for him. Yet, anymore. Yet Jimmy is the one who's pushing it. It's not her being obsessed. They could have went the route of her getting the lipstick and also falling for Clark and that thing, but they didn't, because this is not an early season of the show where they would have done that. No, she's very much the voice of reason until Jimmy's like, hey, you don't have to stick around. You can go to the engagement party that's happening on Valentine's Day, apparently. Yeah. You knew And you know that this is where the episode's going to end up. It's going to always lead to the engagement party that they're having. Lex wants to tell the world that they're going to have a baby. But Lana doesn't want to, because she says that she doesn't want. And to think she's only marrying Lex because she's pregnant. Well, you know, if you really think about it, if you think about how this went down, they're together. She gets pregnant. She tells Lex, he proposes to her. Then she ends up saying yes. It all makes it seem like Lex proposed to her because she was pregnant. So it does seem that way, shape or form. In some way, shape or form. Yeah. Yeah. So, hold on. So, when Lois kisses Clark, that's when the red meteor rock or the red kryptonite affects him. He becomes leather-bound boy again, and they begin. Okay, so is there some kind of rule that Clark Kent has to remain a virgin, right? Like, okay, so at this point he's had sex with Lana. So is there some rule that he can only have sex with Lana? Because every time he's on Red K, he gets very close. He almost got there with Jesse. He almost got there with Alicia. And he almost gets there with Lois. By the way, has a giant-ass tattoo on her left boob. Left boob. I'm saying I love Clark or something. We find out it's only it's a fake. It's only it's a rub-on or something like that. No. I do like how he opens it up. He's like, I just want to make sure you spell my name right. Sure. But like, just as soon as it gets hot and heavy, and I'm not saying that they have to. Obviously, they're going to get there eventually. It's Lois and Clark. They're going to get there. But every time he's under the influence of Red K, they tease us with him hooking up with someone, and then something comes along. Either Clark turns on her, in the case of Jesse, the red kryptonite wears off, or in that case with Alicia, she throws the Red K away. Or here, instead of having it wear off, and what's going on? They have him find an invitation to I'm trying to do True Lies. Here's my invitation to the Lana Lex dinner, rehearsal dinner. You see, he says immediately goes off and they run there. By the way, he shows Lois. So I mentioned at one point that Lois somehow finds out about the Green Arrow thing from 3 episodes ago because he kisses her. I forgot it was under the influence of this, so she doesn't remember anything. Clark does, though, for some reason. Maybe because he's not human, I guess. I don't know. But they crash the party on the party pooper. Yeah, I don't know why I'm going hard on this episode. Hey, cool party. Who are you? I'm the party pooper. Yeah, he immediately goes off on everyone. He goes off on Chloe for supporting this. He goes off on his own mother for slowly going into Lionel's arms. He goes off on Lana for marrying Lex. And then he drops a bomb on the place by revealing that she's pregnant by throwing a rattle at Lex. Lex lashes out, and that doesn't work. He's thrown into another table. Somehow doesn't get mortally wounded or something. Clark then kidnaps Lana and takes off. Yeah. And where does he take her? To the barn. Why? Why would he take her? Now, I get it from a writing standpoint. He has to take her to someplace they know so that Lex can catch up and have the climax. I get it. But if you're trying to run away with someone, why would you take her to a place where everybody knows your name? And I don't mean Cheers. I'm just saying. Because there's a whole speech here about he's still in love with her. He knows she's still in love with him. They kiss. And at first she fights it, but then she doesn't. And then, he's like, marry me. And then she smacks him. How dare you? How dare you? You did this. You get jealous and blah, 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 blah. It's just like, okay, I get her point. She's like, you want what you can't have. It's that sort of thing. And she's got a point. He pined for her all season one when she was with Whitney. By season 2, he finally gets with her, at least from her point of view. Then he takes off, right? And then he kind of works his way back up to it. He gets with her, season 5. And then he pushes her away. And now she's with Lex, and now he wants her back. I can see from her point of view that she doesn't know all the intricacies, classified stuff, the important stuff in his life, the intricacies, I can't say the word. She doesn't know all the personal stuff. She doesn't know what's really going on, to connect it. So in her mind, it's like every time she's with someone, Clark wants her, and then once that's out of the way, they get together, he just sort of walks away from it. So, yeah, I can see the point. I can see her point. Lex shows up, and there's a fight. He has a gun to his head. There's a fight. She stabs him with something, but it doesn't hurt him, of course. You know what I like, though? After this is all resolved, there's not some kind of talk with her, because there's nothing to talk about, really. But it's just like, you see her holding that thing that is bent, and it's like, there's not some sort of it wasn't me, I was infected by something, it must have made me invincible, or gave me super strength or something. Lois was infected with a red meteor rock, and it affected me, and no, there's none of that. They're leading towards her finding out the truth. She knows there's a secret, because earlier in the episode, she's like, to Chloe, I'll forgive you for not telling me about Clark's secret if you admit that there's a secret, which we don't know if we, But Martha shows up and uses the green kryptonite, and it sweats him. He sweats it out, and he becomes. To be fair, to be honest, I feel like they dragged this. Like, he turned it because of a kiss, right? So wouldn't a logical thing be to, like, there is they do get the antidote which they spray Lois with, and she's like, what happened? But yeah, just yeah, yeah. He says, "Well, it wasn't me. I didn't mean anything." And Martha's like, "Well, it doesn't lie for you. It just throws out your feelings. It's not. It's still you. It's just a version of you that would be uninhibited, or whatever." So, yeah. And then the last scene we have is Lana getting checked by the doctor to make sure her pregnancy is still going well. But we find out there's something else going on here. Because the doctor says it's not a usual pregnancy. What is going on? Whole lot of bullshit. But we'll get to that. So yeah, that's the end of the episode. I will give this a 3 out of 5 Superman logos for me. It was fine. After the last 2 bangers in a row, we needed something to kind of come down from it. It's your typical Red Kryptonite story. I think we had one of these once per season or something. We had 2 technically, season 2, if you count the end of season 2. And beginning of season 3. There was one in season 4. I don't think there was one last season. We did a silver kryptonite in that one. But we went back to Red K here. because we're running out. Although we do eventually get the blue kryptonite. We had black kryptonite too, I guess, in season 4. We get the blue kryptonite, and then there's gold kryptonite. I think there's a pink kryptonite at one point. It's like a dust that does something later. I don't know. But, what have you. Yeah, so it's fine. It's just fine. So what are your thoughts on this episode? Let me comment so much, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.